I like to play soccer. I like to do tumbling and gymnastics.
She was diagnosed when she was 5. Her left knee was swollen one day and she said it hurt. Our pediatrician sent us to children's orthopedics. The orthopedic doctor immediately knew or suspected that it was arthritis.
I like to do a lot of karate. I like to play outside sometimes.
She was diagnosed when she was 22 months. She went from walking to crawling, then from crawling to army crawling on her arms. She'd cry every time I got her dressed. I would have to carry her to daycare. The girls would hold her and carry her around all day long, and we'd have to carry her home.
Juvenile idiopathic arthritis is the most common rheumatic disease in children. It affects about 1 child in 1,000.
It's a condition, a chronic inflammatory disease with no cure.
Back in the old days, we had really 2 treatments for kids with arthritis: huge doses of aspirin and steroids.
It used to be very prescriptive, very, here's what you need to do.
When we first got reports back on what was actually happening in our system of care, it didn't match up with our perception of what we thought we were doing. And we decided we need to take improvement of the system seriously, and we've been dedicated to that for close to a decade now.
This really was a chance to kind of up our game. 95% or more of care happens in the home. And so it's really important that we understand the family's needs.
Our caregivers at Children's really worked to empower us, sharing knowledge, sharing information, and giving us what we needed to make the right decisions.
It's really important to know the family's goals and preferences. We've been collecting what we call patient-reported outcomes, so that's patient reports of physical function, quality of life, other pain.
We have created a registry and database for our patients with juvenile idiopathic arthritis. It tells us how many active joints do they have, for how long have they had that, when was their last eye exam, when was their last visit. We sit down weekly, review every child that's coming in.
The more pre-planning we can do and proactive planning we can do, the better the visit is for the patient and family, as well as I think the better the care is. I do a lot of phone calling to our families to make sure that their needs have been met or that we're going in the right direction with their treatment plan.
And so we have that information at point of care when you're meeting with the patient. You can say, oh my goodness, you know, sometimes you'll see things and you don't realize the impact that the disease is maybe having at home or, you know, in their daily lives.
They're always improving on things. They listen to you. They deal with the patients well. They know how to deal with the children and their fears. They always ask her questions, you know, how do you feel, Sarah? You know, it's always speaking directly to her.
They don't necessarily talk to me like I'm a grown-up, but they also don't talk to me like I'm a little kid. She treats me like I should get to know what's going on with me and that I'm the one in charge of it and that I can ask questions and get involved with it.
We went to a training. This is how you would give this medication. She asked if she could try to do it herself. The nursing staff was really supportive and impressed with how well she handled it.
Having the disease exposes children to things they wouldn't experience otherwise. And they can learn and grow from that experience, and they do. And they turn out to be fantastic individuals.
We had an initiative to focus on outcomes, to measure the outcomes, and our goal was to have a 20% improvement over our baseline, and we were able to achieve that.
The way quality improvement leads to improvement in care of children is that it's data-driven care. So you actually look at the outcomes of individual patients and see how they're doing compared to how they were before. You set goals for how you want your patients to do, and you work on the system so that as many of the children as possible can reach that goal.
The thing is, we need to apply the best evidence, the best medications for an individual child
to give them their best outcome.
The plus of working with chronically ill children is getting to know the patients and families, getting to know where they're coming from, getting to know them as a person, as a parent, as a child, what they want for the future. That all helps shed light on what you can do to help them get there now.
The message really is, we're going to help you manage this and you can do everything that you want to do. She's never, ever in 6 years decided or felt like I shouldn't try this or I can't do this.
Don't be scared to ask questions. Learn as much as you can about it, and don't let your illness stop you from doing anything you want to do.